I'm Sarah Hashim-Waris for the Los Angeles Times. Los Angeles voters on Tuesday sent Eric Garcetti and Wendy Gruhl to a mayoral runoff, but rejected a sales tax increase. Earlier, I spoke with Times political writer Seema Mehta about what Angelenos can expect in the next few weeks of campaigning. Seema, Eric Garcetti and Wendy Gruhl are in a runoff leading up to May 21st. How did things pan out for the other candidates in last night's mayoral?
Well, Jan Perry and Kevin James had almost the same number of votes, basically tying for third, but the number of votes they had combined would have been enough to get in the runoff, so it'll be really interesting to see where their voters go and to see if either one of the candidates endorses Gruhl or Garcetti. Neither one of them have actually conceded yet or have indicated whether they're going to endorse anybody in the race.
Do you think that Gruhl will potentially go after Jan Perry for an endorsement?
I think so. I think both of them will court both of them for an endorsement because those voters could make the difference in terms of winning the election.
Which might be a little awkward because of the recent attack ads.
Absolutely. But I mean, that's, often in politics, you're attacking your rivals one day and seeking their blessing the next. So, she won't be the first one that has to do that.
Tell me about Measure A.
Well, Measure A failed by 10 points, which, in our polling, we had it leading slightly, but within the margin of error. But with tax measures, it's always a little bit complicated because if they're undecided voters, they're more likely to go into the ballot box and end up voting no. But this creates a headache for whoever the next mayor is because it's another couple $100 million a year that they need to find to cut or to raise to deal with the city's financial problems.
And how do you think Gruhl and Garcetti will potentially deal with this with the runoff?
Well, that's one of the things in the primary was that they didn't offer a lot of details about how they would deal with the city's financial problems with our spiraling pension liabilities. And so now now that it's a two-person race rather than having 5 people on the stage during debates, I think we're going to really see them pressed more to offer specific details about how they will fix the city's financial problems.
And then voter turnout, pretty dismal, 16%.
It was horrible. Yeah, I mean, LA is not known for having a very high voter turnout in municipal elections, but this may be a new low. We are checking that. It was 16%. That might tick up a little bit just because there are still some mail ballots that haven't been counted. But in prior elections, the last time we had an open seat for mayor, where an incumbent was turned out, was 2001, and we had like twice the number of voters turn out, both in the primary and the general. I don't know if it speaks to a lack of voter enthusiasm in the race. I mean, we did just have a long, bruising presidential contest, so there might be some election fatigue. And also, none of these candidates have really created the enthusiasm that, say, Villaraigosa did among Latino voters, 4 years ago and 8 years ago.
For more on the mayoral runoff and other headlines, be sure to keep up with our ongoing coverage on LAtimes.com.